And good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our yoga session this morning, our de-desking and chair yoga, along with focusing on breath work as well. You're very welcome. Good morning, and good morning to those who might be viewing on social media this morning. So wherever you are finding us, you're very welcome. So our session this morning, beginning with our breath work, going to explore a box breathing technique, a Samavriti pranayama, which will be beneficial to down-regulate and help us relax, lower the heart rate, lower the blood pressure, and a really nice method that we can do at any point and at any time. Then we move on to our asana session this morning. So moving our bodies using the chair for support, using the principles of yoga practice to look at strength, look at flexibility and mobility throughout the whole of the body. So really useful for those of us practitioners who may spend a lot of time seated down, working at a desk using devices, and we'll find that we spend a lot of our times with a forward bending spine and shoulders rolling forward and the neck and head going down. So aiming to counter that with our session this morning and coming back and opening up the body and strengthening and flexing as we're going along. So all we need for the session this morning is just a really nice stable chair. So I'm just using a normal domestic dining chair. So anything that can really support your weight. So ideally not an office chair or anything with wheels or anything like that. Something really nice and firm. And again, ideally nothing with armrests. So you have a little bit of freer movement around as we're moving. So let me come back to my chair, a little adjustment of the camera, and I'll step back. And we'll sit comfortably. So straight away in the chair, I'm sitting just a little bit forward, so not using the backrest at all. And then I'm inviting my body to sit up a little bit taller, starting to engage the muscles around the lower part of the body and making my spine just a little bit longer and taller. And as we sit up tall, it's kind of very tempting then to raise the shoulders up as well. So we're going to relax the shoulders down, hands comfortably on the knees or on the side of the chair, whatever suits you best. And my feet are also grounded down and my knees are above my ankles. So I'm just sitting quite firmly, squarely grounded and a little bit upright. So we'll begin with our breath work, and we'll just take a few really good breaths, just inviting the breath to come down into the chest and hopefully drawing it down into the lower part of the abdomen, right at the bottom of the lungs. So getting the sense that the tummy area is a balloon, and when we inhale, that balloon inflates. And as we exhale, the balloon deflates and we allow the breath to leave the body. So just breathing, and I'd invite you to breathe through your nose if you're comfortable to do so. So allow our nasal system to clean the air, filter the air, warm the air, add a little bit of moisture, really condition it before it comes down into our lungs. So just some steady breaths, aiming to reduce the rate of our breath and being conscious of the feeling of breathing, how the air feels when it comes into our bodies and when it leaves. Just making all these really small observations. There's no right and there's no wrong. We're just entering into the sensation of connecting our mind with our body and just noticing how we feel. So maybe trying to slow the breath down and taking deeper breaths as we go. So when focusing on the breath, sometimes nice to put a hand either on the tummy or the chest or both. And we also get that physical sensation through the fingers as we breathe as well. And just taking our time. So it often feels a little counterintuitive just to sit and to breathe and to be still. So when we have such busy lives and we have so many demands, so many things on our to-do list that require our attention, it feels like we shouldn't sit, we shouldn't be still, we should be rushing around and attending to things. But as we breathe, we can just acknowledge that everything that we do have to attend to, everything that demands our attention, are really important, very important part of our lives, but we don't have to attend to them now. And having a few moments of self-care is equally important. And our aim is to return to our busy schedule with more focus, more productivity, and we're safe in the knowledge that we have spent a little bit of time to care for ourselves as well. So as we breathe, we'll explore a yoga pranayama breathing technique. It's very simple, a Samavriti pranayama, sometimes also known as box breathing, where we have an equal measure of breath and holding of the breath in a very simple sequence, and we'll build up to it. So we can inhale for a count of 4, and then we'll hold for 2, and then exhale for 4, and we'll start there, and then we'll change the pattern as we're moving along. So if at any point um, the rhythm doesn't feel right for you, it feels restricted, you feel like you can't catch your breath, then just return to a breathing pattern which feels good for you this morning, and just be aware of what you need. So we can start. We'll inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath for a count of 2, exhale for a count of 4. And then we'll do 3 or 4 rounds of that, and then we'll adapt again. So inhaling, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Forgetting the hold, apologies. We'll go again. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Last one. In, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, out, 2, 3, 4. And take one deep breath and one long exhalation. So we'll advance the practice forwards, and this time we'll take a hold in between the exhalation and the inhalation as well. So really forming that box as we're going along. So inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 4, hold again, and then inhale and round we go. So we'll take again 2, 3 rounds, seeing how that feels. Once again, if anything doesn't feel right as we're going along, then just breathe in a more normal everyday way. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, hold, out, 2, 4. One long inhale, a long exhalation. Really good. All right, fantastic. So our breath work and using the breath in that way, we're lowering the heart rate, we're lowering our blood pressure, we're bringing forwards our parasympathetic side of our nervous system, and we're down regulating. So away from that heightened sense of fight and flight in sympathetic mode, sympathetic nervous system mode. So just sinking down, focusing on the breath, focusing on that internal movement and our internal systems. So we'll begin to move our bodies. As we're moving, once again, if anything that I'm doing, if you're following along, doesn't feel right for you, then you can just back off or take a pause and then join in again when you feel that you want to. Don't experience any discomfort and don't experience any pain as we're going along. Move your body in a way that suits you and in a way that matches your energy levels and the way you want to move this morning. We'll also focus on the breath as we're moving, so we're aiming to match our breath with our movements as we're going along. So I'll guide you through that, and we will work through the whole of our body as we're moving through the sequence, strengthening some parts of our bodies, stretching through some parts of our bodies, and using the chair for support. So let's begin. Using our breath, catching our breath again, we'll just go through some simple shoulder rolls. So we'll inhale and raise the shoulders, and then on the exhalation, roll the shoulders down and round, and be really mindful to match the movement with the breath. So as we inhale, as we reach the full extent of the inhalation, the shoulders are right up, and on the exhalation, we'll bring the shoulders right down and round. Inhale and up. Exhale down. So if we are ever holding any tension in our bodies, can quite commonly be in our neck and our shoulders and our lower back as well. And we'll move on to the back in a little while, but for now we'll just really concentrate on the top part of the body. So one last rotation with the shoulders, and then we'll inhale and sweep the arms up, reaching upwards, stretching up through the fingertips, and exhaling, sweeping the arms back down by the side of the chair. And one more inhale, reaching up, exhale, sweeping down. Last one, inhale, reaching upwards, and going to work on our head and our neck. So to facilitate this, I'm just going to allow my right arm to sweep back down, and then my left arm will wrap over the top of my head, so my fingers are at the top of my right ear. And then using the weight of my left arm through the elbow, I'm just going to let my neck drop down to the left-hand side. So nice and gently, feeling a stretch across the right-hand side of the neck, across the shoulder. And we can use the right arm as a counterbalance, so maybe moving the arm slightly out to the side of the chair. And remembering to breathe. So as we exhale, maybe allowing the neck to go down a bit further. And we inhale, gently bring in the head back to a neutral position, stretching both arms up once again. And this time the left hand sweeps down by the side of the chair. The right arm goes up and over the head, fingers by the left ear, and gently allowing the weight of the right arm to bring the head down to the right hand side, stretching through the left hand side of the neck. 2 or 3 good breaths. And inhaling, sweeping the arms up, reaching up, stretch up to the sky. Gazing up at the fingers, allowing the head to drop backwards, nice and slowly. And the head rocks forwards, and this time we'll lower the arms down into our cactus position. And allowing ourselves then to draw the elbows and the hands backwards. So opening the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together. It's a perfect pose to counter those everyday positions we find ourselves in, sitting down, working at desks. We're opening the chest now, drawing the shoulders back, heads up nice and tall, and coming back round. So the hands come to the front of the chest, so hands in a prayer-like position. And we're going to work on our fingers, our wrists, stretching out and flexing. So to begin, we'll just roll the wrists around, roll the wrists and the hands, so any way that feels right. Rolling around backwards and forwards. So using keyboards and devices all day, our wrists and our fingers are working in a fixed position. So still that risk there of getting that repetitive strain through the tendons in the wrists and the fingers. So flexing in a more dynamic way. And then we can bring our hands back together, back to that prayer-like position, and we'll clasp the fingers together. Rotating the hands then, so the fingers go towards the chest, the elbows poke out in front, and then pushing the palms away from the chest. So stretch through, push the palms away, flex through the wrists of the fingers. We'll take an inhale and raise the hands up. Push the palms of the hands up to the sky. Really stretch up, lengthen through the spine, straighten the arms. And exhale. Lower the arms. Bringing the hands back up in front of the chest and disconnecting the fingers. Really nice. So we'll take hands down to our knees and we'll take some side twists. So we use our breath as we're twisting to the side. We're going to take a really big inhale, and as we inhale, going to engage the muscles around the core, squeeze up, lengthen the spine, sit up really nice and tall, almost getting the sensation that the hips are lifting up off the chair. And then as we exhale, then we'll twist round to the side. And we'll cross our arms over as we're going to. So we'll inhale, squeeze up. On the exhale, bring the shoulders round to the left. Our right hand goes to the left knee. Left hand goes to the side of the chair or at the back of the spine. And we gaze over the left shoulder. Remember to breathe. We could take one more deep inhale. Sit up tall again, and on the exhale, see if we can twist the shoulders around just a little bit more. And exhaling, coming back round to the front. We'll go the same on the other side. So we inhale, squeeze up, exhale, twist the shoulders around to the right, left hand on the right knee, right hand on the chair beside us, gazing over the right shoulder. And exhaling, coming back round to the front. Inhaling again, sweep the arms up. And on the exhale, lowering the left hand down, and this time we'll take a side bend. So gripping the side of the chair with the left hand, just for support there as we tip over to the left, stretch out through those right fingers up above the head, and lengthen through the whole of the right hand side of the body. Stretch and flex. And then we'll come back up to the top. The left hand sweeps up. matches the right. Squeeze up to the sky, and on the exhalation, the right hand sweeps back down to the chair. We'll grip hold of the chair for support, tip over to the right for our side bend here. Squeeze out through the fingers. Push down into the feet for support. Stretch. And back up to the top, inhaling. Right hand sweeps back up. On the exhale, we'll drop down to cactus again. Open up the chest, draw the hands and the elbows back. Shoulder blades coming together. Sitting up nice and tall. Exhale. Hands come round to our heart center. Really good. So hands back on the knees. We're slowly working our way down our bodies. We'll start to work on hips and a little bit more work on the core as we take a forward fold. So hands on knees. Option here then to bring the fingers inwards and the elbows poke outwards, and that way we can use the hands and the arms for support, especially on the uplift when we're coming back up. Ground your feet down, and they'll also be supporting our weight. So we inhale again, lengthen up through the spine, and on the exhale, we tip forwards into our forward fold. Allow the chest to lie across the legs. So the head coming towards the knees, and we allow the head to drop. So the crown of the head's pointing towards the floor. Remember to breathe, and as we exhale, soften. Allow everything to be heavy, and maybe feeling a little stretch through the lower back. So inhale, push back up through the arms, bringing the shoulders back up to seated position. And we'll breathe again. Inhale, exhale. Really good. All right. So moving down our body, time to work on hip strength, hip flexibility. So I'm shuffling my weight to the front of the chair. So my pelvis and my backside is just really far forwards, gives me access then to move my legs round to the side, opening up the hips and external rotation of the hips as we're moving through this next little exercise. So going to step our feet from side to side, and as we're doing so, we'll introduce our breath work again. So our Samavriti breath, the inhaling and then holding and then exhaling, we can mirror that with our movement of our legs as we're going through. So hands can be on the side of the chair for support. This will enable us to keep our spine upright and our chest up forwards and tall. And if we might want to, as an option, is also perhaps to hold the back of the knee. So if the lifting of the leg is a challenge this morning with the energy that we have, then we can put the hands underneath the knee for a little bit of support there. Important still to keep the chest up nice and tall so we're not bending the back and we're not coming forwards. So move in a way that feels right for you. We're going to take an inhale, raise the right foot off the floor, hold the breath, sweep the knee round to the right, and as we exhale, we'll lower the foot down to the floor. And do the same on the way back. So inhaling, pick the foot up, hold the breath, sweep round to the front, exhale, drop the foot down, then we move over to the left, inhaled foot up, hold the breath, sweep round, exhale, drop down. Inhale, lift up, Hold the breath, sweep round, exhale and down. So we'll do 2, 3 rotations. Move at a speed that feels right for you. Remember to match the breath with the movement. We'll continue without my guidance so you can move in your own way. Remembering to keep the spine long, the chest up tall, matching the breath with the movement. Move as fast or as slow as you feel you want to. And coming back to the middle. So both feet at the middle, really nice. We'll take another forward fold. Inhaling, squeeze up, exhale, tip forwards. Inhale again. Bring the shoulders back up, back to seated position, and stepping both feet out into that wide position, allowing us to have some space in front of us. And using this space then as a guide, because our knees are out at an angle to the side, and we can reintroduce our twisting through our shoulders and reintroduce work on the arms and that side bends as well. So quite a dynamic little sequence. We'll begin with bringing the arms up into a T position out by the sides, and then we're just going to gently twist round. So I'm going to bring my left hand round to the back, drawing the right hand forwards, and I'm twisting enough so my arms are parallel with the direction that my knee is facing. And then I can gaze forwards across the length of my arm, the right fingers, before coming back again. So draw the arms round to a central position and we'll twist round to the right. So the left fingers come forwards, the right fingers go back. My left arm is parallel across the left knee and I'm gazing forwards over the left fingers. So coming back again to the front, and we'll just drop the hands to the knees. So quite strong then, really activating the muscles in the shoulders, bringing in that upper body strength and still maintaining that movement and that flexibility through the torso, through the spine as we're going. So let's add on a little bit more movement then. So inhale again, arms into T position. We're going to take that twist round to the left, keeping everything parallel with the direction of the knees. And then I'm going to take a bend in my right elbow and I'm going to tip forwards. So my forearm comes to my right knee, still maintaining the integrity of the twist in the shoulders. And then what to do with this left hand. So we've got a number of options here. So the left hand can go down onto the left hip, and that will enable us to focus on this twist round of the shoulders, drawing everything back, opening up the chest again. So if you're comfortable there, breathe, draw the top shoulder back. If you're following me, we're going to inhale, raise the left hand up and over, bringing the bicep to the ear and squeezing the hand up and over the head. Keeping that twist in the shoulders and really stretching through this side of the body. We'll exhale, left hand sweeps back again, keeping the arms parallel as we go. This time raising the right arm too, back into that arms in the T position. And we'll draw the arms round to the front. Really good. Lower the hands down and we'll forward fold. So this time we have this space in front of us with the knees wide apart. So we may be able to tip forwards a little bit further. We'll need to really ground down into the feet so we don't roll forwards off the chair. We can keep the hands on the knees for support, or another option is to reach down and have the hands down on the floor. So plenty of choice. Choose the route which feels best for you. We'll inhale, lengthen up, and on the exhale, come forwards. I'm opting to reach down for the floor, pushing into the feet, stretching my arms out forwards, allow my head to be heavy, and breathing 2 or 3 good breaths. On the next inhale, we'll come back up to seated. So we can bring hands to knees for a little push up. Really good. Inhale again, sweep the arms up to the top. Exhale, arms to cactus. And bringing the hands back round to heart center. Really nice. Inhale, sweep the arms into T position. And we'll take that twist and the side bend on the other side. So drawing the hands and the shoulders round to the right. Allow the left hand, left arm to be parallel with the left knee. We'll take that bend in the left elbow, forward fold. Left arm to the left knee. Maintain the integrity of the twist. So bringing the chest up and back, the right shoulder being really strong, flattening the back behind us. The option again for this right hand, it can stay here on the hip, or if we're following along, bring the arm up and over, bicep by the ear, squeeze out through the hand. Really lengthen across the right hand side of the body. Keep twisting the shoulders round too. And breathe. Really good. Draw that right hand back. Left hand comes up. Arms in that T position. Bring the arms back around, shoulders facing forwards. And we'll lower the hands down and we'll forward fold again. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, tip forwards. So if you're opting to reach your hands down on the floor, then maybe reach and stretch, walk the fingers forwards. We'll allow the head to be heavy, so the biceps are close to the ears now as we're squeezing forwards, really pushing into the feet for balance and support. Everything really stretching. We'll inhale, come back up to seated. And return to our breath. Really good. So for our next little sequence, I'm going to bring my body weight just slightly to the right hand side of the chair. So I can keep my left knee bent, my knee above my ankle, and I can draw my right leg out straight to the side of the chair. So we're mirroring a gate pose if we were not using the chair in our yoga practice. This enabling us to do a really nice side bend again, opening up the hips, that external rotation of the hips, maintaining that hip mobility. And we're also going to look at strengthening the core and stretching through the top of the body as we go into a side bend here. So we have options again with the arms. We can keep our left hand by our hip as we reach and stretch the right hand down the right leg. Or we can draw the left arm up and over the head, making the top of the body a little bit heavier and making the pose a little bit more active. So absolutely your choice. You know how much energy you have this morning and how you want to move your body. So we'll inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, drawing the right hand down, the right leg, walking the fingers down, keeping the shoulders twisted towards the front. Option then to draw the left hand up and over the head. Remembering to breathe. And coming back up so the left hand sweeps back. With shoulders coming back up to the top. Bring the right leg back to the front and we'll go across to the left. So shuffling the weight of the body over to the left-hand side of the chair. Extending the left leg out to the side. So right leg this time. Keeping it facing forwards and supporting our weight. Keeping the knee safely above the ankle. Shoulders facing forwards. Going to draw the left hand down the left knee. Walking the fingers down, really nice side bend. Option here then to draw the right hand up and over. Lengthening through that side of the body. Really good. And coming back. So right hand sweeps back up and over and back to the chair. Shoulders are back up to the top. We bring the left leg back into the middle. We'll take another forward fold. And then we'll go over back to the right. Add another variation. So widening the knees for our forward fold. We'll inhale, option this time to draw the arms right the way up to the top. So again, making the top half of our body really heavy and increasing the engagement of the muscles in the core as we're tipping downwards. So only an option if it feels better to keep the hands on the knees, then that's absolutely perfect as well. We'll inhale, raise up, exhale, sweep forwards nice and slowly, really putting pressure in the feet, supporting the top half of the body, hands reaching down to the floor, and we stretch forwards. Inhale, come back up. Bringing the shoulders back up, hands on knees. Stepping left knee to the front. Shuffling my weight over to the right hand side of my chair as I draw my right leg out straight once again. So this time we're going to twist as well. So left hand on left knee, right hand on right knee. I'm going to draw my shoulders round to the right hand side. So I'm facing my extended right leg. And we're going to tip down, forward fold. So we'll be putting pressure on the heel. So we're keeping the right foot flexed, so not pointing the toes, keeping the toes upwards. So the weight is on the heel. Really putting pressure down on the left leg to support our weight. And we're going to stretch both arms down our right leg. So we'll inhale, lengthen up through the spine, exhale, twist round to the right, and then walk the fingers down. So both fingers walking down the leg, stretch down, reach as far as we can. And then walk the fingers back up. Bring the shoulders back round to the front. Stepping the right knee forwards, and we'll shuffle across to the left and do the same on the other side. So bringing my weight to the left-hand side of the chair, rotating the left leg round and extending it out. Beginning in that neutral position with the shoulders facing forwards, we'll inhale, lengthen up. On the exhalation, twist the shoulders round to the left, and then reaching both hands down. Squeeze down. One more breath here. Inhaling, draw the shoulders up. Exhale, bring the shoulders back around to the front. And we'll step the feet round to the front. Really good. All right, really nice. So we've stretched and flexed around the whole length of our spine, and we've taken forward folds. Our last little bit of activity in our sequence today is just to introduce a little bit of a back bend. So taking really good care of the lower spine as we're doing so. And if we're feeling any discomfort at any point, then just ease off. So the key to doing the back bend and to counter any chance of getting that lower spine compression is to really use your breath and to really engage with that upward lift before we go into the back bend. So let's just take a couple of breaths before we do so. Bringing our spine to a neutral position, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, and as we exhale, relaxing the shoulders, but also maintaining the integrity of the lift through the lower part of the body. So inhale, relax the shoulders, exhale. One more breath. Really good. So I'm just going to sit sideways so it's a little bit easier on camera to see what I'm doing with the backward bend. And to begin with, very simply, I'm shuffling my weight forwards to the front of the chair once again. And this gives me a little bit of space behind in order for me to extend my arms backwards, so for me to grip onto the chair. So bringing my arms back, I naturally find if I bring my chest up that my shoulder blades will come together. And then as I extend my arms, I can draw my chest up, gaze upwards, and I'm getting a nice little gentle back bend all the way across the spine. Shoulder blades nicely coming together. And then tipping back forwards into a neutral position. So this time I'm going to bring my hands forwards and we're bringing the hands up. So the top part of the body once again is working as a little bit of a counterbalance, a little bit of a weight in order for us to draw ourselves backwards. So hands in our prayer position at the front of the chest. I'm inhaling, lengthen up through the spine, and then gently bringing the shoulders and the head back. Gentle on the neck, gazing upwards if you're feeling comfortable. And keep the chest pushing up to the sky. And we'll exhale and roll forward. So everything done very slowly, very purposefully, and keeping the integrity of the spine through that breathing. So one more, we'll inhale, raise the arms up, lengthen up through the spine, exhale, arms into cactus position, and we'll tip back again. So drawing the hands and the elbows back and the shoulders into our back bend, gazing up, push the chest up. If we're feeling any compression in the lower spine, we can either take a really big inhale, lengthen up again, or just ease off in the pose. And we'll come forwards, lowering the hands, back around to our prayer position. Really nice. So coming back round to the front. After a back bend, we'll take a forward fold. So your choice of forward fold, we can keep the knees together and roll the chest over the front of the legs, or we can go back to our wide-legged position and tip all the way down to the floor. So your option, will inhale, lengthen up. On the exhalation, we'll reach down. If you've opted to bring your hands to the floor, then again, we'll walk the hands forwards, really stretch through the spine. And coming back up to the top. Hands back on knees. We'll bring our knees together back to our more neutral seated position. So still away from the backrest, still allowing our body to work at lifting up through the spine, sitting actively. Inhale and exhale. And as we come to the end of our sequence of movement, we'll return to our breath and just take a few moments with a seated Shavasana. So if you have a yoga practice, you'll be aware that traditional Shavasana is taken by laying on the floor in a corpse pose, and we breathe and we allow everything to soften and take that few minutes at the end. So we can do the same in a seated position. As we did at the beginning of the session, we'll find our breath, and we can adopt any breathing which feels right for us. Maybe exploring that Samavriti pranayama breath with the hold in the middle. But if not, just breathing in a way that suits you, but aiming to extend the exhalation. So keeping that parasympathetic side of the nervous system coming forwards, lowering the heart rate, lowering blood pressure as we're breathing. So we'll inhale, exhale. Breathe in a way that suits you best. Allow your focus to be on the gentle rise and fall of your chest and your tummy as you breathe. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Relax the jaw and the tongue. Allow the shoulders to soften, fall away from the ears. And as we breathe, we can gently scan down from the top of our head, down through our neck, our shoulders, through the length of the spine, around through the pelvis and the hips, down the legs to the feet. Notice our toes, notice our fingers. So gently breathe, gently notice our body, and take a few moments of calm Shavasana. And return to our breath, allowing the rhythm to come back to a more normal everyday pattern. Reintroducing a little movement into our bodies, maybe moving fingers, little flex of the toes, maybe taking a little stretch or roll the shoulders, whatever might feel right for you. Coming back and having the sensation that we're awake and present and ready to continue with our day. Our session comes to an end. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend this time practicing with you. I'll just step forwards to camera. Really nice. Thank you so much. So, uh, thank you, Annette. Comments coming through on the Zoom session this morning. Thank you so much. Great pleasure to spend the time with you. Thanks to everyone who might have been viewing on social media this morning, and to let everybody know that I'm back next week, Tuesdays for mat yoga, yoga for everybody, 8 a.m. And Thursdays, once again, our breath work, our chair yoga, that de-desking, all important work that we can carry with us into our everyday working practice to keep our strength and flexibility as we're entering into our working day. So great pleasure to be with you. Thanks so much. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.